Last time on Pixel Pilot, we were part of a flight of US Navy Hornets sent to provide air support to the US Marines storming the beaches near El Arish. But without Smiley, our wingman, and his gajillion-dollar targeting pod guiding us, Thumper and I were left squinting out the window trying to tell which tiny dots on the ground were the good guys and which were the bad guys. Suffice to say, we weren't much help, but the Marines successfully took the beach anyway, and like all good group assignments, we still got the same grade as the students who did all the work. A couple weeks have passed since then, and the rebels have acquired Scud missiles, which are these massive fuck-off rockets that can hit a target up to 300 kilometers away. The missile attacks have been happening at night, and civilian areas have been included as targets, which is no bueno. Our job is to take out the missile launchers, and we're going to do it under the cover of darkness. Why? To minimize the chances of enemy air defenses absolutely ruining our day. A nighttime strike means we get to wear some pretty fancy night vision goggles.
You know what's amazing? They're not that noticeable on your face.
And with that, it's time to launch.
400. Keep going up, you can look up now.
We're heading to St. Catherine in the south of the Sinai Peninsula, where there's a small airport and it's the last runway through which the rebels can receive arms. Intel has it that there's an incoming shipment of additional Scud launchers and missiles, but they failed to brief us on a critically important piece of information. Less than 10 kilometers southwest of the airport stands this majestic 7-meter statue of the divine she-camel of Nabi Salih. From what I can gather, this unusual spot doubles as a gas station, some sort of government or military checkpoint, and a tourist attraction with mostly positive reviews, receiving a 4.4 out of 5 on Google. How Intel missed this is beyond me and frankly constitutes gross negligence in my opinion. Now, you know how in the movies the hero always manages to save the world by defusing the bomb or deactivating a missile on the brink of time? Well, I'm sad to report we were not Hollywood heroes on this occasion. See, if your experience in DCS is anything like mine over the last 9 months or so, if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. Shortly after launch, my VR headset decided to die. Now, thankfully, my plane was already in an autopilot orbit at the time, so I didn't crash straight into the ocean, but that little episode cost us about 12 minutes. That then has a spillover effect where we miss our rendezvous with the tanker, which is going to accompany us on the journey south before looping back towards the north. That means that we have to catch it on its return loop, which causes us to backtrack for a long way. On the plus side, I got to do my first air-to-air refuel in the dark, which looked pretty cool, especially with this blood moon and the city lights below. But by the time we finally get to St. Catherine, we're 2 hours and 15 minutes into the mission. So while I'm up there, squinting out the window like always, the rebels launch a couple of Scuds at the city of El Arish. I didn't know that at the time, but looking back, this radio message from our AWACS suddenly makes a lot more sense.
Slate 2 fast movers northbound from Slate 57 Bra, Tree 50, 22, 15,000, additional Tree 49er, 47, 20,000, fast moving north, cold.
In total, 4 Scuds were launched, and thankfully the Patriot missile defense system we set up was able to intercept 3 of them, which saved innocent NPCs from a certain gruesome death. What happened to the 4th missile, you might ask? Well, true to its real-life counterpart, which is notoriously inaccurate, this little piggy went for a swim. Thumper, being the gun that he is, manages to take out 2 Scud launchers in one run, and the ensuing fires give me something to look for. But really they're just these tiny white dots off in the distance, so it's not a lot to go off. You can see from this shot just how clumsy it is trying to get the Maverick Seeker head to look where you want it to. I'm going to pause it right here to give you a sense of what we're working with. These 2 flaming wrecks are the Scud launchers that Thumper destroyed on his run-in, and the bigger fire up here is the building that Smiley's Maverick accidentally locked onto instead of one of these 2 smaller vehicle dots to the side. And this tiny dot is what I'm assuming to be another Scud launcher, so we're going to go after that. With our lock acquired and the master arm switch turned on, we call rifle and release the missile. Together with Thumper and Smiley, we were eventually able to destroy both of the freshly delivered Scud launchers and one of the pre-existing ones. Plus we damaged a couple of other vehicles, so we counted that as a win. We were running pretty low on fuel at this point, so it was time to head home. We catch the tanker on the way back, top up the tanks, head to the boat, do our marshal call where I have to memorize all this shit.
Mother is IFR, case 3, CV1 approach, marshal on the 105, 21, Angel 6, final bearing 310, expected approach time 45.
Then I do my customary bolter/wave off, and then, out of sheer exhaustion, I go for a do or die landing because at this point, we're almost 5 hours into the mission. It's 1:30 in the morning and I am so fucking desperate to get out of this plane. The Case 3 guards take pity on me, and despite this horrific approach, I somehow catch a wire and come to a stop on the deck. Nothing but pure professionalism here, folks. Anyway, as always, we learnt a lot and survived to live another day. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.